apparently, I think Jill Costas got him, I think, an iPhone.
Wow.
I figured, what would the chances I would call Costas and get him on FaceTime, and there he was, with unshaven and the whole thing, and looking like a bum, like all of us are looking right now. But Bob has come into the 21st century with us.
Wow, that's incredible. We're talking to Al Michaels, NBC Sunday Night Football play-by-play voice. How close did you come to getting traded to ESPN? I'm curious about that, Al.
The only thing I knew is that Andrew Marchand had great sources and kept writing about it. And when Andrew called me, I said, hey, listen, I'm reading you to find out what's happening with me. So it never came to me. Apparently there was some discussion as to whether or not I could be released from my contract, and that was the end of it. But everything I knew came from Andrew, trust me.
But you've already been traded once, so we can't go, boy, Al can't get traded.
Well, as part of that deal back in 05, 06, we threw in, and believe me, it was a throw in. The deal was already done. But at the end of the day, we threw in Oswald the Rabbit. Nobody knew who that was, but the Disney family wanted to get the rights to it back, so we threw that in, and we laughed about it. And then the press didn't think that anything nefarious or insidious was going on behind the scenes. So now, I guess if I had gone back, maybe I would have taken Oswald back with me. I don't know.
I also saw a quote from you, I think, that had to do with Brady when he came into one of those pre-game meetings with the crew from Sunday Night Football, and I'm paraphrasing. I think he said, I'm the most unhappy 8-0 quarterback in the NFL. Do I have that right? And that's last year?
You do, and it was last November. The interesting thing is, so in that meeting, we have our regular, production crew with Chris and Michelle and our production folks, and so we said that on the air that night. So this was in Baltimore. They came in. They were the Patriots were 8-0, so they're undefeated halfway through the season. They're going to go up against Lamar Jackson, and he winds up beating them. And at that point, the Patriots were averaging on defense, giving up, I think, single digits. It was 8 or 9 points a game, and they were on a record pace. And Brady comes into the meeting, and he basically says at one point, I'm the most unhappy 8-0 quarterback in football. So we were trying to do the forensics on it, figuring out what's that all about. Is it all about the fact that he is going to be a free agent and knows he's going to leave? Is it about the fact that the offense is not very good but the defense is terrific? And just going back to opening day, we had the Patriots against the Steelers in the opening Sunday night game last year. And Brady walked into the meeting and said he's very, very excited because the defense, I think he said, is the best he's ever seen since he was in New England. So he was right about that. The defense was fantastic up until that point in the season. The offense wasn't very good, but I said to him, and I know I'm not going to get the answer at that point. I don't even know if he knows the answer, but I said, Tom, I can't imagine you ever playing in another uniform. So I'm going to lay odds of 43,000 to 1 that you will never be in another uniform. And he kind of laughs, and we all laugh. So he walks out of the room, and Andy Freeland, who's one of our great research people, Andy plunks down $2 on the table and says, I'll take that bet. So I'm trying to give the $2 back to Andy, but he won't take it. So now I'm down for $86,000 this season, Dan. And if Andy thinks he's going to get paid in one lump sum, no way. That's going to be quite the installment plan. But he won the bet.
How surprised were you that Brady decided to walk away?
Very. I just didn't see it happening. Look, Bob Kraft has made it very clear through the years how much he loves him, treats him like a son. Wanted to keep him, obviously, and we all know now that Tom went to Bob Kraft's house and they had a good cry about this whole thing. I just didn't see him leaving. I just couldn't imagine it. I mean, look, Tom is in a place that nobody's been. That I can, George Blanda was different. I mean, he played into his 40s, but he was mainly kicking, and he played quarterback a little bit at that particular point, but nobody's been where Brady's been right now. So how much longer does he have to go? Can he go 2 more years, 3 more years, whatever it would be? I think Tom feels great, obviously, at this point. But I couldn't see it. I couldn't see him walking out the door, but here we are. And I think, he needed a little bit of fresh air. And I think when Bob Kraft said in the interview after he left, that sometimes you have this great marriage, but a mother-in-law or a father-in-law, somebody else comes into the picture. we could all read between the lines what that meant. So, you can't diminish what Brady and Belichick did as a pair. That was fantastic. And I think, Tom on Howard Stern the other day was talking about, how people make too much of the fact, there was friction or whatever. Yeah, you work with somebody for 20 years, there's going to be friction. But look, what they did was spectacular. It was amazing. 6 Super Bowl wins, 9 Super Bowl appearances, always in the race. But, sometimes maybe you need a little bit of fresh air, so Tom goes down to Florida for that fresh air off the Gulf of Mexico.
He's Al Michaels, NBC Sunday Night Football. And, of course, a couple of minutes ago he talked about Bob Costas not being a technical whiz. Savvy, I think. I've as long as I've known Bob, he had a flip phone, but apparently he was able to FaceTime Al Michaels. Yes, Paulie.
Bob Costas on the line, Dan.
Hey, Bob. Hey, welcome.
Hello, Dan. Hello, Alfalfa. That was an accident. I called Al, and I hit some button inadvertently that apparently produces images, and all of a sudden I saw myself with a 10-day growth of beard, and there was Alfalfa at some weird angle from, underneath his coffee table, and it was all very like George Jetson to me. It was very disconcerting.
Rapping, what are you doing up at this hour? Every time that you were on the road with us, Bob Costas would be the guy. You'd walk by his room at the hotel, and the Do Not Disturb sign was out at 1:30 in the afternoon. Go back to bed.
Bob, do you remember the first time you worked with Al?
The first time we actually worked together, this has to be a setup, before we ever did anything together on NBC, the first thing was basketball in 1998.
Well, I'm in the movie with you. I didn't know that's the first time you guys. I watched that the other night for the first time, Bob.
Yep.
I never watched it all the way through. I was like, and plus you can't watch it with the kids. So I'm going, oh boy. But you guys were quite a pair there, quite a tandem.
We didn't see, Al will attest to this, we didn't see you, we didn't see Reggie Jackson, we didn't see Kareem, we didn't see Robert Vaughn or Yasmin Bleeth or Ernest Borgnine, none of them. We were the last day of shooting, it was just the two of us. It started out as a lark, and then when they broke and we started to look at some of the dailies, Al looks at me and says, what have we done?
Mm-hmm. We've ended our careers.
But you know what? It turns out, in retrospect, it's like Pootie Tang, which is another cult classic that I proudly starred in. You think it's a disaster, but then as time goes by, it takes on a certain cult classic of appreciation, and you realize that inadvertently you did a good thing.
But the deal is this, and Bob, I don't know if you heard the fact that I was talking about Marcy Carsey and she and Tom Werner getting like $18 gazillion worth of residuals, and we get nothing. We get nothing for appearing on the MLB Network and NFL Network and ESPN Classic, but we do get residuals from that. And baby, that's a joy. You get to the mailbox every couple of months, and here's a residual from basketball, and it's $1.63 after tax.
No. Bob, before I let both of you guys go, what are you watching?
Yeah. I'm watching some MLB Network, the classic games. They've responded pretty quickly. Al Kaline passed away the other day, and they showed games 6 and 7 of the 1968 World Series, the only World Series that he's played in. I check the NBA Network. Chris Collinsworth's A Football Life was on the NFL Network the other day. I hadn't seen that before. Maybe it was the first run. And then I'm watching a lot of news, and I'm reading, not just newspapers or stuff online. I'm actually getting to a lot of books that are on the shelf that I hadn't gotten to before.
That's great. Great to talk to both of you guys, and hope you're well. Look forward to actually hearing new games from you, Al, since all of your archival games are bothering you. Poor Al. He turns on the baseball network, he's got a game. The NFL network, he's got a game. Boo-hoo, Al.
And then the NBA Network, where I'm doing where Doc Rivers and I are doing the game with Derek Fisher scores with 4 tenths of a second to go. So hey, Dan, do we get residuals for this show?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you do. You're going to get $8 each.
Beautiful.
Yes, $8. I'll buy Bob a razor.
Hey, listen, I owe Andy Freeland $86,000, so whatever you want to send to me, I'm happy.
Thank you, guys. Great to talk to you.
All right, Dan.
Bob Costas, Al Michaels. Close up shop after this. Thanks for listening to the Dan Patrick Show podcast. Be sure to catch us live every weekday morning, 9 until noon Eastern, 6 to 9 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And you can find us on the iHeartRadio app at FSR, or stream us live every day at youtube.com/The Dan Patrick Show.
So here's the thing. For our 3,000 county city health departments, only 6% of those are big cities. But yet they account for more than half of the populations that are being served. But the vast majority of these local jurisdictions are small to medium size. So there are health departments that may have a staff of 6.
That's Dr. Oscar Allen, Chief Program Officer for NACHO, the National Association of County and City Health Officials, overseeing and directing funding to more than 3,000 of our country's local health departments, serving more than 25,000 health officials.
Now, how are you going to be able to ensure that such a small footprint does have the workforce capacity to be able to address all of these needs? 6 people are not going to solve the entire health construct for a population of 50,000. So that's where the benefit of collaboration and the team sport in public health is going to be important.
I'm Justin Beck, founder and CEO of Contact World. Listen to Contact World, the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Introducing the new Verizon Business Unlimited plans. Now you can pick a plan for as low as $30 a month per line with AutoPay. Get 5G nationwide, plus massive data capacity, plus spam blocking features. And with Verizon Business Unlimited, you can mix and match the right plans for your business so you get more of what you need and none of what you don't. From Verizon, the network businesses rely on. 5G nationwide, available in 1,800 plus cities on most VZ 5G devices. Monthly per line pricing with 5 plus lines on Biz Unlimited Start. Device payment, smartphone purchase. Autopay and paper-free billing required. Terms apply.
Been a great show. Thanks for everybody taking part in this. Great guest. We had a great week. We really did. And hopefully we make an impact on your life in a positive way, whatever it is. That's what we're here for. Whether it's facing a lawsuit for Tom Brady, we're willing to do that because it's all about content. By the way, we had our great moment of the week, and it sounded like this with Jim Nantz.
Friends, welcome to Thursday at the Masters. Our hearts and thoughts go out to all of you, and I'm being very serious. This has been the most fascinating time for any of us in our lives. We're going to get through this together, one step at a time. Stay safe, stay home, stay healthy. God bless you all on this holy week, and we'll look forward to seeing you in November.
So that was Jim Nantz in his golf applause. Jim was, we got more? Jim was in his office, and then he went into his backyard, and he has the speakers out there, and he has a par 3, and I thought if he put on the Augusta music, because he usually does that when you're out there hitting wedges. And he got out there, couldn't turn on the music, and then he got locked out of his house. Discover Moment of the Week. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations do apply. Final results of the poll question, McLovin.
Will teams either regret not drafting Tua or regret drafting him? 64% say they'll regret drafting him.
The Traeger came through. We have brats and sauerkraut. We have beer. We actually cracked a beer. I did. I cracked a beer. Paulie goes, let's have a beer. I said, all right, well, we got to wait 15 minutes. He goes, no, now. Can we have a beer? I go, all right. So we cracked a beer. The brat is great. Sausage, great. Sauerkraut. Todd, great job there. McLovin, Seaton, and Tyler, the moderator, all the boys in the back, Alan, Marvin, Rob, of course, the big German, and Dylan. Thank you guys for coming in and making this possible every single day. Fritzy, what did you learn today?
Once trademarked, we can potentially get a cease and desist order from Tom Brady's lawyers if we keep selling Tampa Bay T-shirts. Yeah,
we haven't heard yet from Tom Brady's camp, but I'm guessing we will hear from them, since he's filed for the trademark and we've already come out with the Tampa Bay T-shirts. McLovin, what did you learn tonight?
America's greatest broadcasters all sound a little bit bored at home.
Yeah, they do. Seaton O'Connor.
We're on to the lawsuit.
Oh. Paulie, what did you learn?
New documentary, Tom versus Time versus the Dan Patrick Show.
Oh, we're in trouble. Have a safe weekend. Be smart, be safe, and we'll talk to you again on Monday. Seaton, Paulie, Fritzy, McLovin, yours truly. This has been the Dan Patrick Show.